Great day to be alive. So I'm just pulling up to the spot. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit until I get a call, of course, which shouldn't be long, but sometimes you never know. Sometimes I don't get calls until later on in the day. And I've already been on standby for quite a while, but regardless, it's either when I have my laptop, I can get away with just hanging out and shit. I can get away with stopping at a Panera Bread or some shit. And taking care of some work. I created a offer, if you will, for a public proposal for this website that allows you to stay connected to business owners that are looking for gig freelancers. I did it because it's an opportunity for me to utilize my skill set, maybe overall, I wanted to learn how to make an additional, 60, 80, $100 a day without, if I could even start with just a week to keep it a stack. If I could start with just a week, if I could somehow add an additional $100 to $200 a week to my income without physically having to do something. When I say physically, I mean from a labor point of view, not physically. Like, I know something has to always be done. It's either me creating that transaction by delegating the task or me doing it. But what I mean is I want it to be I want it to be knowledge based. So I want to physically transition. I want to be able to make money off of what I know by physically doing something. But as I'm thinking it through, I also got to be thoughtful of how much responsibility I want to put on myself. So as of now, I'm offering to do a high level service for business owners, and I'm also being a little more thoughtful of who I talk to. So I'm not wanting to offer my service to a company that typically these companies are the ones that don't see it, but if they're not earning strong revenue, then a lot of times I don't want to try to sell a company. Pretty much if I have to sell them into the opportunity of marketing, if I have to tell them the importance of it, then I don't want to work with them, right? But I'm also being a little more selective with who I work with in terms of they have to understand the importance of marketing. I don't want to have to sell them into thinking or just sell them into the opportunity or sell them into the reason why marketing is important. Like, so if they're in the camp of not really understanding why marketing is important as a business owner, then I really don't want to talk to them. I've thought of a way to reach out to higher end clients, someone that there's a stronger probability of me being able to do work for them. It requires a little bit of time and building, list building, if you will. I have one so far, but I had this idea, and so far, I just have to visit them, and I'll go ahead and document what that process is like after. But essentially what I've been doing is, I pay attention to the billboards, and I've done this before, but I never noted the actual company that's posting or that's paying for the billboard, that's advertising. But I'll note who that company is, and then I'll do a little bit of research on them, right? So a lot of times, this is without me, just to give you guys some sauce, so maybe it could help somebody out, I'd be okay with it. But when you're looking for clients to manage their social media accounts, or if you just want to run ads, whether it be Facebook, TikTok, Google, you want to find a customer that, again, already sees the value in marketing. You don't want to have to sell them into the idea of, hey, marketing is important, especially in the digital age. You need to be doing this, XYZ. That's the last thing that I want to do, at least, right? Like I would like to just walk in the door, obviously, and get somebody's business, but I had to slow down and really think it through in terms of being logical on how I communicated with my customers or future clients versus being logical. And what I mean is, initially I just wanted to say, bitch, I don't really need you. I'm offering something that you clearly need. But I was just taking in some of the lessons that I've learned is I got to be practical. And they don't know a lot. I have to educate them. A lot of times everyone's on defense when they're being spoken to, especially business owners, just because they're constantly being offered opportunity or constantly being offered services. So my approach is going to be a lot different. I am going to offer the first month free. I will let them know that the second month I'll invoice them $500, and initially that's going to be the rate, but I'll only keep average of 3 to 5 campaigns active for that rate. So once we get into managing more campaigns and creating different funnels, at that point I'll be charging a lot more, because it's going to require a lot more time. But I think 500 to manage 3 to 5 effective campaigns is fair initially. And also, I want to give them that first. That's really where the heavy lifting is the first month. So doing that for free is really helping them save with the setting up and also testing the water to see if it's something that they want to do. By the second month, they can make a decision if they want to continue working with me or not. And if they don't, then I'll teach them how to disconnect me from their platform, and I'll no longer manage their account, which is okay with me. But what I'm saying is that's how I want to word it. That's how I want to structure the my pitch, if you will. I just want to let them know. So you'll be getting the first month for free. After I set up, the setting up, it depends, but it could take about 2 weeks or less. It just really depends. So we'll get some ads running that first week. And then after we get those ads running, we're going to get data. And it's going to be your choice what you want to do the second month. I'm not going to be able to promise any client at first until we start building a track record. But I'm not going to be able to guarantee clients leads, especially, it just depends on what it is that we're selling. So what industry are they in? If they are, in the health and beauty, what is considered a conversion? How am I going to track that conversion in order for them to say, okay, this is definitely worth it? But I have a different approach in terms of how I want to go about launching each campaign. And it all depends on what is it that we're running a campaign for. So I'm going to use a client as an example just because it's top of mind, and I can use some of their services as an example. But this lady, she runs it's like a beauty and spa type of business. And one of the services that she offers is classes to teach how to do some shit. Well, what I could do, so monitoring that, my whole point is saying that is monitoring that is going to be completely different than, like, to consider that a conversion is going to be completely different than trying to get somebody to come in to get their eyebrows done. Because that class, it's going to be rare for somebody to Well, we'll have to see as well. They may have to put like a deposit and shit. But I got to figure out how I'm going to monitor a transaction. And there's going to be times that I can't really monitor if somebody actually paid, because unless they have to put a deposit every time, unless. That was raw. I went like that, and then I heard a Jake break. It's just perfect timing. Ooh, raw. I'm one with the world. Let's do another video. Keep growing.